So I've just finished watching Gervonta Davis's performance against Yuriorkis Gamboa over the weekend. Just have to say, I don't, I wasn't that impressed with his performance. If I was to rate it, I'd probably give it a D plus, C minus. If I was to actually rate his performance against Gamboa, and there was a lot of factors going into this particular fight. For one, obviously when Gervonta Davis actually stepped onto the scales, he was a couple of pounds overweight, so that kind of does show like a lack of discipline on his part to actually make the weight. But the thing you need to factor in when you look at this particular performance is the fact that obviously Gamboa is 38 years old, and you're looking at a 25-year-old in his prime, Davis, and he couldn't actually stop him. He did manage to stop him in the last round, but before that, I think he dropped him in the second round. But generally speaking, for some reason, he could not set up his punches to actually drop the guy. I think what's happening now is Gervonta Davis, obviously, he's a very talented fighter, but his life outside of the ring is starting to catch up with him. He's not showing the performances that he did early in his career. Obviously, he did manage to win the world title, which is good, but his performance, it leaves a lot to be desired now. What one problem that I had with him was the fact that he didn't seem to be setting up his punches. He just seemed to be throwing these haymakers. And on top of that, obviously, Gamboa did actually manage to rupture his Achilles heel. And even though he did rupture it, he still managed to last 12 rounds. Obviously, Gamboa is a veteran at this point. He's won like multiple world titles. He's a gold medalist, but for some reason, he just could not. Um, Davis just could not knock him out. So until the 12th and final round, obviously up to like the ninth round, 10th round, and 11th round, he just seemed like he was gassing. Like he just couldn't. His stamina was kind of low, and he just couldn't perform. My thoughts is that if he goes into the ring against the top boys, the fighters like Teofimo Lopez and obviously Tevin Farmer who wants to fight him, he's going to struggle with them. And obviously, let's not even go there with Lomachenko, because Lomachenko's on a whole nother level. But obviously, Gervonta, we can't overlook Gamboa's performance. I think Gamboa done really well. Obviously, he's a veteran at this point, and he just did what he had to do to survive. He did land a few good shots himself, but for some reason, I think because of his Achilles heel, he couldn't put the momentum behind his punches to really land punches on Davis. But I think going forward, I think Gervonta Davis just needs to become more disciplined. He needs to train in between fights. He can't just like get ready for a fight when the fight is announced. He needs to start training in between fights, and he just needs to step his game up. I think he needs to disconnect from Adrian Broner and stop hanging around with that guy, because he's just not a positive influence for someone like Gamboa, who's got all this talent and all this physical gifts that he's got. I think he should take this performance as a learning performance and just try to build from this. In terms of a fighting to Tevin Farmers and Lomachenkos of this world, if he would struggle to nail a 38-year-old Gamboa who had a ruptured heel, then I don't know how he's going to deal with a Lomachenko who's notoriously elusive, and obviously you've got fighters like Tevin Farmer who's got a very slick defense as well. How is he gonna handle them types of fights if he's struggling to deal with um, let's be real, a retired Gamboa? So yeah, I think there is a few positives in this particular performance. One thing it shows is that the fact that he stopped him in the 12th round shows that Davis does carry his power until the last round. There's a lot of fighters out there that punch extremely hard who've got punching power, but they, for some reason, when it gets to the final rounds, they just can't seem to switch that power on to knock their opponent out. But Davis has actually shown in this performance that he's got that ability to carry his power until the last round. So that shows he will always be a dangerous competitor. But for him to get the most out of himself, he needs to really step his game up. So that's my assessment on this performance. I would give it a D plus, C minus if I was to actually grade his performance. But yeah, it'll be fun to see where he goes from here. Hopefully, he can like get rid of the negative influences in his life. People like Adrian Broner start focusing on boxing and go back to how he was when he first turned professional. Um, I just don't like the way Al Heyman and Floyd Mayweather are managing his career. He needs to start taking some more risks. He was offered a life-changing money against Tevin Farmer, but for some reason he just turned down that particular fight. And I think it would have been a fight that he could have potentially won. It's a 50-50 fight. He was offered multi-millions for that particular fight. I think he should have taken it. But based on this performance, hopefully he says he can go all the way up to 135 to 130. He's willing to fight anybody. Hopefully Mayweather and Al Heyman allow him to fight some good names so that we can finally see how good he actually is. So yeah, that's my thoughts on this particular performance. He needs to step his game up if he's gonna get in there with the Tevin Farmers, Teofimo Lopez's, and obviously Lomachenko's of the world. But at least he won the world title and he showed his ability to carry the punch, his punching power until the last round. So tell me what you think below, and obviously like and subscribe for more videos. I've got more content coming your way. Peace out.